So in business, is it better to be better or better to be different? Sounds like a trick question. Better is better, right? Except that when it comes to branding, different is better than better. So a dirty little secret is that there are few established best practices when it comes to branding. In fact, there's not even an agreed upon definition of what branding is. So I'll tell you what, let's start with the first element in what will become, I really believe it will, a productive definition of branding. Differentiation. It's a hard word to say, but I'm gonna say it again. Differentiation is setting your brand apart from competitors by presenting contrasting and valued brand attributes and customer benefits. In other words, you need to immediately communicate the distinct features of your brand and the rational or emotional, people get emotional and they should, benefits they create for your customers that are different from those of your competitors. So usually these are tangible product features and customer benefits, but sometimes it's about creatively communicating the difference in your brand personality. By the late 1990s, Apple had lost its mojo as a company. Steve Jobs returned to his CEO role, the conquering hero, refined the product line, and Apple kicked off a new branding campaign with what is now a very famous commercial. "Here's to the crazy ones," the voiceover began as pictures of cultural icons like Albert Einstein, MLK, Maria Callas, and Pablo Picasso flashed on the screen, individuals who changed or challenged our worldview. The spot ended with the iconic tagline, "Think better." Except it wasn't think better, it was think different. Bad grammar and all, think different helped launch Apple back to prominence. So this was Apple communicating that an intangible attribute, its brand personality, was different. Specifically different than IBM, who represented the status quo in personal computers. IBM was known for its longtime motto, think, Apple was think different. There was no brand promise of better to reintroduce Apple to the marketplace, just the intrigue of crazy different. Now at the time, Apple's logo icon was a rainbow of colors. But Apple's logo has changed colors a number of times. What makes the Apple logo icon meaningful is not color. The difference between the Apple icon and ordinary wholesome apples is the bite. Referencing the rebellion in the Garden of Eden, a lust for knowledge, rebellion against established authority. The implied customer benefit is that if you buy a PC, you're an establishment-loving dullard. But buy an Apple computer and you too are a kind of authority-defying rebel. But wait a minute, aren't Apple's products in certain ways better than the competition? And shouldn't your product be better than your competitors? Maybe, and of course. But when it comes to branding, communicating difference is faster and more effective than the laborious and often futile task of claiming and convincing that you're better. Especially when you're a challenger brand, which most brands are, and yours probably is, and not the market leader. Behavioral economics, really cool thing you should look into, looks at the way people make purchase decisions. It states that consumers use both slow and fast thinking. But when it comes to whether they will even consider a brand as an option, they want fast thinking. Think of slow thinking as deep or complex thinking, and fast thinking is something that's from the gut, immediately discernible to you. Saying you're better is asking people to make a complex analysis of many factors to decide whether you're better than the market leader. It also raises skepticism. You're better? Oh yeah? Says who? You? But saying you're different often just requires simple comparison. Is this apple better than this apple? Based on what? Says who? But are they different? Oh yeah. And immediately communicating difference often leads the consumer to engage with, research, or try your brand to decide for themselves if you're better. If you're a challenger brand, a single difference of substance between you and the leader can also mean owning a valuable niche or niche, people say both ways, I don't know, in the marketplace that you can expand and eventually grow. That is called brand positioning. And cliffhanger alert, we'll take a bite out of that concept and that element of a productive definition of branding in the next episode of Branding Hacks.